Hello everyone, this is Jay Coder back with another stream, and today we're going to be going over writing instrumentation tests for the tip time app that we have been working on for the last few videos. So instrumentation tests, aka it means UI test. So we're going to be going over how that works and how to automate entering things into the UI and pushing the button automatically without doing it yourself, but having it like kind of a small bot doing it for you to perform the UI test. So let's go ahead and get started. Go ahead and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And so we're going to be doing this code lab here, the right instrumentation test. I'm going to go ahead and post this really quick inside the chat, and then we can get started here. All right, so here we go. Before you begin, in previous collabs, let me actually go ahead and mute the music just really quick. All right. In previous collab, you learned how to create and run unit tests. This collab focuses on instrumentation test. You will get the opportunities to see what they look like and how to write them. Prerequisites: you have created a project in Android Studio. You have some experience writing code in Android Studio. You have some experience navigating projects in Android Studio. You have written simple unit tests in Android Studio. What you'll learn: how instrumentation tests look like, how to run instrumentation tests, how to write instrumentation tests, what you need: a computer with Android Studio installed, the solution code for the tip time app. And so basically you can download the tip time app from this URL if you don't have the project already. So I'm gonna actually go ahead and post this in the chat for those who want to follow along and haven't built the tip time app yet. So this is the starter code. That is the starter code for this code lab. All right, perfect. Let's go on and navigate to the provided GitHub repository page for the project, and then verify the branch name matches the branch name specified in the code lab. For example, in the following screenshot, the branch name is main. So this is basically telling you how to download the starter code. So actually, since I already have the code, I don't need to download it from the repository since I did it via the code labs. And you guys can also reference that in the last few videos that I have on the channel. Start app overview. The TipTime app consists of one screen that shows the user a text input to enter a bill amount, radio buttons to select a tip percentage, and a button to calculate the tip. So create the instrumentation test directory. The starter code of this collab is fully functional, but it is lacking both test and testing directories. Before we write tests of any kind, we need to add a directory for instrumentation tests. Once you have downloaded the starter code, perform the following steps to add a class for your instrumentation test. These test directories are auto-generated when a new project is created. The easiest way to do this is to first switch from the Android view to the project view. In the project pane at the top left, click the drop down that says Android and select Project. Your project view will now look like this. And click the first drop down, then drill down to App Source. Right click on Source and select New Directory. So let me, so this is, okay. Once you've downloaded the starter kernel, perform the following steps to add a class for your instrumentation. Okay, so it says the easiest way to do this is switch to Android, switch Android view to project. In the project pane, select Android and select project. Okay, so they want us to go. So this is my tip time app code. They wanted us to select project. Okay. And then after that, your project view looks like that. And then go to source. And then go to new directory. And then the window pane appears. Then Android test Java. So let's see. So it wants us to go to app source. So app source. Right click on source and select new directory. So right click on source and say new directory. And they said new directory, and then they want us to choose the Android test / Java. So new, oh my, I said image asset. So new directory, Android, well, it was Android test Java. Okay. New directory. Android test. Android tests. Honestly, we already have this here, so we already have it there. So let's see. Let's go on. You will now see the Android test directory in the project structure. Right click on the Java directory and select New Package. So we're going to right click on the Java and say New Package. And then you will see the resulting window. In the window, type the text below and press return. So, example, let's go ahead and type this text inside the new package. Then your project window should look like this. And then finally, right click on the example, tip time, and select New Kotlin class file. In the result window, type calculator test and select the class drop down and return. Okay, so it says new Kotlin file class calculator test. Perfect. Writing your first instrumentation test. Now it's time to write an instrumentation test. The following steps test the functionality for a 20% tip. Open the file you just created and it should look like this. And 2. Instrumentation tests require an instrumentation test runner which allows the test to execute on a device or emulator. There are several other instrumentation runners, but for this test, we'll use the Android JUnit 4 test runner. To specify the test runner, we need to annotate the class with the following. So we need to annotate the class with the following. With this at run with Android JUnit class. Alright, we have done that. Now let us go back. And just in case, these are the imports that you need. So the JUnit 4 to run with. So the run with and the, okay, that matches. And then so we imported that. And so you should be able to use hotkeys to automatically generate the import statements on Mac OS. The hotkey to auto import is the option plus return. On Windows, the hotkey to auto import is control plus return. Everything that is now set up to begin writing the testing logic. The tip time app consists of a single activity, main activity. In order to interact with the activity, your test case must first launch it. Add the following inside the calculator test class. So we're going to add the following inside our calculator test class. Activity scenario rule. Main activity. Activity scenario rules come from the Android X test library. It tells the device to launch an activity specified by the developer. You'll need to annotate it with @get rule, which specifies that the subsequent rule, in this case, launching an activity, should execute before every test in the class. Test rules are an essential tool for testing. Eventually, you will learn how to write your own tests. Next, you need to write the test logic itself. Create a function and call it calculate 20% tip and annotate it with @test annotation. @test fun calculate 20% tip. Espresso. This course primarily uses Espresso for instrumentation tests. Espresso is a library that comes ready to use with an Android project when creating with Android Studio, and lets you interact with UI components through code. At this point, you may have noticed that the Android Studio has a lot of incomplete features. One of the challenging aspects of working with Espresso is that methods don't autocomplete if the library hasn't been imported. This can make it difficult to navigate the available methods in Espresso without researching documentation. Throughout these lessons, we will be providing you with the methods needed to complete the test. First, you need to write code to enter the bill amount and the cost of service input text view. Navigating to app source main res layout activity main.xml indicates that the ID of the text input edit text is cost of service edit text. Copy the ID name, which we will need for the test. Okay, and then it says implement the test function. Now, in the calculate 20% tip function in your test class, you can write the test logic. The first step is to find a UI component to interact with, in this case, the text inputted edit text, using the onView function. The onView function takes a view matcher object parameter. A view matcher is essentially a UI component that matches a particular criteria, which in this case is a component that has the ID of r.id class of service edit text. The function with ID returns a view matcher, that is the UI component with the ID that is passed to it. OnView returns a view interaction, which is an object that we can interact with as if we were controlling the device ourselves. To input some text, you call perform on the view interaction, then perform takes a view action object. There are a number of methods that return a view action, but for now we are going to use the type text method in activity main.xml. We can see that the default tip option is 20%. So for the time being, you don't need to specify which tip option to select. On view with ID r.id.cost of service edit text.perform type text 50. Note, on smaller devices, the button may be hidden by the keyword that was open to enter the text in the above steps. If you are using a smaller device, you may want to change the method into the above instruction to close the keyboard. Perform action, view actions dot close off keyboard. Okay, so it wants us to go ahead and add the on the on view. It wants us to add the this to our method here. So says the first step is to find the UI component to interact with that using the onView function. The onView function. Okay, so looks like it wants us to take this and it wants us to go ahead and put this in our calculate tests method there. Actually, let's go ahead and put this after this activity part, and then so says expected. Okay, so in the on view wants us to go ahead and close the okay. Alright, so basically it wants us to make a method called calculate 20%, and then it wants us to type this text 50, and then says it wants us to check if it matches $10 after we hit the button here. So, and it wants to test annotation beforehand. So we have that. And so we need to import the necessary components. And import. Import. Okay. That match is it's not that. Or let me see. Or maybe it's not this one for matches. Let's see. Oh yeah, it's the espresso. Okay. And resolved R. Let me see something here. Side the main. Here. Main activity. Dot R. Dot R. Okay. R dot. Okay, so for the R, we need to include where is our inclusion for the R? View measures ID. Then we need that. We have much of the matching. Looks like we have the matching imports here. It says if you're using an emulator, make sure that you can see both the emulator and your Android Studio window at the same time. Run the test the same way that you would run tests by clicking the red green arrow button to the left of the function and selecting the first and watch what happens. Okay. Okay. Gonna search for import for R dot ID in Android. Or actually import for R importing R dot your application .r. Let me see. Okay. Let's go. Let me see here. So the Android Studio import R. Or is it this? Dot R. Interesting. All right, so let me see something here. Very. Okay. Let me see. Okay. Well, this for the R thing, it's given us unresolved here. There's a missing import for it. Trying to find that. What is that? Is it like Android dot R, or would it be Android X dot R? Dot accessibility. Oh wow, that's and would it be like activity dot r? That is strange. All right. Well, guys, have to go offline to research that bug there, but so far that's what we have for the testing the UI. So I'm going to go ahead and research what import we need and get and continue the video next time. But so far, this is what we have inside our test code, and well, thanks for watching, and as always, stay coding. All right, until next time. Thanks.